Have you ever gotten to the end of the day, looked at the clock, and just thought to yourself, I was busy all day long, but what did I actually get done? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's this super common feeling, and we're about to dig into exactly why it happens.
So this is the big question, isn't it? It feels like a total mystery. I mean, you were in meetings, you answered a ton of emails, you were juggling like a dozen things at once. The hours were definitely full. So why do you have that nagging feeling that your most important work is just still sitting there, completely untouched?
Well, here's the simple kind of shocking answer. We've been measuring the wrong thing the whole time. We think productivity is all about the number of hours we clock in. But the reality? True, meaningful work is all about the quality of our attention. Our focus, that is the real currency here.
All right, so let's meet the number one villain that sabotages our attention. It's a habit that so many of us actually think is a strength: multitasking. But what we're really doing is just switching between tasks super fast, and believe me, it comes with a massive hidden cost.
Does this little dance look familiar? You sit down to write that important document. Then, ping, a message pops up. You answer it real quick. Then you think, you know what? I'll just check my email for a second. Each little jump seems so tiny, so harmless, right? Just a quick detour. But for your brain, it's a completely different story.
And this is where that hidden cost really hits. Every single time you switch, your brain has to perform a full-on attention reboot. See, your brain isn't like a computer that can just keep a bunch of windows open and running perfectly in the background. Nope. When you switch, it has to shut down all the context for the first task and then burn a whole lot of precious energy just to load up the context for the new one.
This analogy just nails it. Imagine trying to read a really good, complex novel, but every 2 minutes, someone taps you on the shoulder to ask a totally random question. Sure, you're technically still reading, but are you actually getting it? Are you lost in the story? No way. You're just skimming words on a page. And here's the real kicker. The science shows that after just one tiny interruption, it can take several minutes for your brain to get back to that same deep level of focus it had before. Now multiply that by the dozens, maybe hundreds of times we get distracted every single hour. What's the result? We spend the entire day in this state of shallow, frantic work, and we never actually get into that amazing, productive flow state.
Okay, on to our second big enemy of attention. This one's a little sneakier because it's an internal fight. I call it the perfect moment trap. It's that little pause you take right before starting something big, when you tell yourself you're just, waiting for the right moment to dive in.
Oh man, we've all said this or something like it, right? I'll just go make another coffee. Let me just quickly read this one article. We create all these little delay tactics because our brain is desperately trying to avoid the hard work of just beginning. This visual just says it all. You can almost feel the weight of that font for to start, compared to how easy and light to continue looks. Getting started on something new takes a huge burst of energy to overcome that initial friction. But once you're moving, continuing is so much easier. Our brains are exactly the same. The real fight is almost always right at the beginning.
So how do you beat that resistance? You don't. You trick it. You don't wait around for motivation to strike. You just make the very first step so small, so ridiculously easy that your brain doesn't even have a chance to say no. Don't think, I have to write this whole report. Just think, I'm just going to open the document. That's it. Don't think, I have to write a whole chapter. Just tell yourself, I'm just going to write one sentence. That tiny little action is often all it takes to break through that inertia and get things rolling.
So all of this leads to a really big shift in how we need to think about this stuff. For way too long, we've treated being productive like it's some epic battle of willpower, a constant fight against our own lazy brains. But what if that's been the wrong way to look at it this whole time? This gets us to a whole new definition. True productivity isn't about gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to work harder. It's about designing a system, carefully tuning your environment and your habits to make it easy for your brain to do its best work. It's about working with your brain, not constantly fighting against it. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. What if being productive wasn't this monumental effort you have to psych yourself up for every single morning? What if instead it was just the natural result of a few small, smart habits? When you think about your own day, what's one little thing you could change tomorrow to make it just a bit easier to win?